Well, Lacey, the Chevy Spark has been sold around the world, made in Korea by General Motors of Korea. It used to be called Daewoo, so it was time to refresh the product, and that's when GM decided, hey, let's bring it to North America. This is a microcar, it competes against the Fiat 500, Scion IQ, and of course the Smart Car.
But there's one major difference between the Spark and its competition. The Spark has 4 doors and 4 seats, whereas all of its competition only has 2 doors.
Yeah, we believe the Spark will be successful in the Canadian marketplace because it has the right product attributes, the right size, and the right proportion to satisfy the most demanding customers in the minicar segment.
The base Spark starts at about $13,500, but I have a feeling that more people are going to go into an automatic version of the LS, which is the base model, and that price is just under $15,000.
The car I have here is the 1LT, probably going to be a volume seller as well. With automatic transmission, the price creeps up. It's almost $18,000.
Have a look at the car. It has attractive and expressive styling, and the styling is complemented with 8 bold and fashionable exterior colors for customers to pick and choose from. And the Spark is also very affordable. Customers don't have to give up anything to save money. Spark comes standard with a long list of standard features, such as 10 standard airbags, stability track, power window, OnStar with turn-by-turn navigation. So really you get a lot for your money.
Now, Lacey, we've mentioned the fact that the main competition only have 2 doors. This has 4 doors, but it is bigger. It's bigger than the Fiat 500, and that way they get the extra doors in here, but they make it look like a coupe. And one of the tricks they do is they put a door handle on the front door. There's no door handle here for the back door. They move it up into the trim. This is a styling exercise that looks good, but if you use this as a family vehicle and you've got little kids, 5 and 6 years old, they're gonna have a hard time grabbing and opening the back door on their own.
So Zach, they've taken all these small styling cues to give the Spark a look like it's dynamic and moving, which is exactly what the designers wanted to do. They wanted to give it a look like it was going to pounce. They've been very successful at doing that because it looks exactly like it from the front and the side of the vehicle.
Not from the back, a little bit flat. I'm really surprised with the design of the back seat and how much room we have back here. Now, the front seats are high enough that you can put your feet underneath them. Lacey has her seat in her driving position, so she's comfortable and I'm comfortable. My knees are barely even touching the front seat. There's quite a bit of room side to side and ample headroom. It really is surprising back here. One thing to note though, it's a 4-seater car. They've got a cup holder and a tray in the middle of the 2 back seats, so there's no way you're getting a 3rd person back here.
One of the first things you'll see when you look at the front of the Spark is that they've brought some really fun splashes of color throughout. They've got high gloss paint and a really nice attention to detail. And even on the 1LT trim model, they've brought some color into the seats. If you have a look at the red 2LT that we have, you'll notice that the standard pleather seats have even more color in them.
Now, last year, Lacey, you might remember we had the Sonic, the bigger version of this car, also made in Korea. And that car, I didn't like the interior up front. This car, I think, with a subcompact car, they've done a better job. Now, this car is the 1LT, the base model. It has a 7-inch screen here, and the 2LT also gets that standard, not available on the base model. Now, this screen has a very cool feature.
For just $50, you can download an app onto your smartphone that'll actually stream your maps from your phone onto the screen. I don't know why they didn't think of something like that sooner.
I'm going to pick one major competitor, the Fiat 500. This car has a smaller engine. The Fiat 500 has a 1.4-liter engine. This car has a 1.25-liter engine. It's down on power too, has only 85 horsepower compared to the Fiat 500 at 101 horsepower. But driving around town, which is exactly what this car is designed for, it gets up and away from a stoplight fairly well, has a pretty good job of moving this car around, but at times it does feel a little bit underpowered. The suspension is quite firm. You can actually get quite a few bumps back through the car over uneven surfaces. It doesn't handle that well because the car is so tall compared to the length of the wheelbase, so it does feel a little bit top heavy. But for a little bit of a runaround car in town, it does exactly what people want. Small, efficient, and actually cute and fun to drive. Biggest highlight for me though has been this MyLink system, the 7-inch screen they have in this car. It is so intuitive and easy to use. It's very much designed like a smartphone. It's got a home button. You can navigate through exactly what you want. Phone functions are likewise, and it's very simple to use. I'm impressed with that the most.
All Sparks come with a long list of standard safety features, including 10 airbags, ABS brakes, traction, and stability control. Not bad for a little car. For a tiny city car, the Spark does everything quite well. It's got adequate power, it's maneuverable, and has a nice ride. The one thing that I like when compared to some of the competition is that even though it's a small car, it still has big windows, great outward visibility, and no blind spots.
This 1.25 engine coupled with the 4-speed automatic is a proven powertrain that we use on the mini car around the world, and it is proven successful in over 100 European and Asia Pacific countries.
Now Lacey, this is just a one-day his and her test drive. It's the launch of this new Spark, so we're hoping to get it back to have a longer in-depth review of it. But first impressions, what are they of the Spark?
Well, you know what, Zach, I keep saying this is a good-looking car. They've done a great job with the styling, so it looks really cute, but yet it's nice and angular, and it still has that look like it's gonna pounce. I like the fact it's got 4 doors. The competition doesn't have that. It's got a great list of standard safety features, and it comes in a variety of fun, funky colors. And as a girl, that's important. It also comes in pink. I don't think there's any other car out there that comes in pink. And Zach, on the downside, it is a little bit underpowered. Even though it is a 4-door car, there is actually 4 seats. I wish they maybe would have put an extra seat in the middle on the back row. And I don't like the instrument cluster. It does everything it's supposed to do, but just not crazy about how it looks. Zach?
Well, I really like the styling of this car. I like all the options. So many different color combinations on the outside and the inside. 4 doors, as you mentioned. It's very roomy considering it is a micro car. It falls between a micro car and a subcompact in size, so it's going to appeal to both owners. The engine is pretty adequate for getting around town, but it's nothing to write home about. I love the MyLink system. I synced it with my phone. It was so easy. I'm telling you, there are high-end cars that cost 4 and 5 times more than this that don't have a system as easy to use as this. And the fact you can link your maps to the car right from your smartphone, this is the first car we've seen that. On the downside, as I mentioned, it doesn't have a ton of power. The other thing I'm not crazy about is it only comes with a 4-speed automatic transmission. And Lacey, I think if they had even just gone 1 cog more to a 5-speed automatic, if they had that 1 extra gear, that 1 extra cog, it would really help to get the most out of this 1.2 liter. I can't believe that 1.2 liter engine. It really is something. You know what's interesting? Chevrolet's brought the Sonic, the slightly bigger car than this. Now they've got the Spark. Even though there are lots of offerings in the micro and the subcompact category, they're not selling. People are going towards vehicles like compact crossovers. So it's kind of disappointing, even in light of all of these high fuel prices we're paying right now.
But we got 4 doors, and it comes in pink.
In the market for a small car? See all our reviews at drivingtelevision.com.